Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go through our daily technical analysis, updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities, ETFs that I follow. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into all these sectors, looking for potential investment opportunities. I did update the coupon code. We've got a Black Friday. It's Black Friday, one word altogether, coupon code for savings on the yearly and monthly memberships if you're interested in signing up. So that Black Friday coupon code special, it's in the description link below, is now activated. Let's dive in. Let's take a look, see what's going on with the markets. We've got the dollar here that is declining. That is a tailwind behind precious metals and other commodity areas. So weaker dollar, generally a weaker dollar is accompanied with lowering of interest rates. So here we are, we're up against resistance, the blue resistance line. We're getting a little bit of selling pressure. Now, is this going to be a reversal candlestick where we actually continue lower? I don't know that yet. It's not a convincing reversal candlestick. We don't have that. It's a little bit of momentum gain today, but we need to see more candles here, guys, before I can say that this is for surely heading lower. We can look at yields, and if yields are going to head lower, more than likely the dollar will head lower. So the 2-year yield, it's right on support. This is a tough call here. Now, if we drop, the dollar will most likely go with it, depending on what the long end of the curve does. If we drop on down, that means that we are getting lower yields, lower dollar, all that stuff. But we also have to watch the longer end of the curve. So that's on support. The longer the curve, we got a little bit of selling pressure. Is it going to turn here? This is a tough call because they're all compressed. It means that the buyers equal to sellers, but you're right on top of support. The support I'm talking about is this guy here. So it's not a signal that we're just going to go lower here. There's no reversal candlestick. It's kind of a bearish engulfing, but it kind of isn't because of how tight the opening and closing prices are. So again, we're going to have to wait and see here. And then the 30-year yield, it's down today a little bit, but this still has a bullish formation where we've got a lot of big green candlesticks in here, and the red guys are pretty small. So, and we're on top of support of all this support going across here. So that still looks good to go higher. The 2-year looks good to potentially roll over, but we're on support, and I think it's early to say that. The TYX TNX ratio, we did pop a little bit higher today. We've got a big bullish engulfing, and I do think that this could potentially head higher. That means that the 30-year either goes down less than the 10-year or the 30-year goes up more than the 10-year. That's how that goes up. So right now, we had the 30-year go down less than the 10-year, which brings the curve higher. The yield curve basically uninverted for this metric, which is good for precious metals. And again, we're coming from a really low level, which is bullish precious metals. TLT, which is bond prices, since we had yields drop a little bit, we're getting some upward movement in bond prices. Is it a reversal candlestick? Kind of not. We got to see some more. I got to see some follow through here, guys. I got to see follow through. Right now, it's kind of in the middle there. It's like, yeah, you're underneath a ton of resistance, this guy and this guy. And then on top of it, it's not a strong reversal candlestick if it is one. So, 0.18%, really? That's strong? No. We'll have to wait and see. The 2 and 10, we are holding steady, basically moving sideways. We've broken the downtrend, and this could go in either direction. Right now, it's favoring a re-inversion, which means we go higher and invert the curve again because we've broken the downtrend. Gold's up $45 an ounce or so, pretty big day. We did get a turn here. That's what these candlesticks were telling us, is that there was buyers coming in, forcing the pressure up, and now the sellers basically stepped aside and the buyers took over today. Now, is this mean that we go way on up? We got to see the following candlesticks, guys. We got to see what comes next. But it is a reversal, and we'll see if the momentum continues. Silver up 2.57%. This looks a little bit better. It's a big, huge bullish engulfing of all these candlesticks before it. That's generally a reversal candlestick to move higher. So we could say, silver's looking pretty good here. It looks like it wants to go higher. So we should probably think that gold's probably going to go higher too, because we are seeing rotation even into the smaller stuff. Platinum also up 3% today, looking pretty good. Let's hope the momentum can continue and we get small down candlesticks if we get them. But heading higher. We've got palladium up 7%, massive move off this good, strong resistance support area. And again, let's hope the momentum can continue if you're a bull in precious metals. GDX up 4.3%. It looks okay. Not a real great looking chart. we came on down and we popped higher with a gap in the morning. So again, we'll see here. We're above a lot of support. That's all good. But this fell pretty fast, and we might come up and fall all the way back to that area. That's still a possibility. So we got to see what this looks like for the next trading days, and if we get follow through. GDXJ, it's a very similar setup. We're right on support. It's bouncing on support. I don't know if I'm ready to say that this is a reversal yet, because we came down falling like a rock. And then we've bounced, but we got to see what happens here. A lot of the times you form these flag patterns, then they fall again. So patience. SILJ up a little bit. And again, this doesn't look like a reversal candlestick or anything. It looks like we could potentially still head lower because the momentum is lower and it's not a reversal candlestick. So patience, guys. XAU to gold, we up a little bit, 2.3%, pretty good. But again, nothing's real changed here. We've broken the downtrend line and we're at a very cheap level and everything looks good for a move higher with time and patience. So everything's intact. Crude oil. Now, crude oil up 3.2% or so. Big bullish engulfing. Big bullish engulfing. That's the direction. Now, I've been looking at some of the people on Twitter. I think they're all sorts of twisted. That's all I'm going to say. And today, with this big bullish engulfing, I think it looks good. And I think we're going to go higher with this reversal candlestick. It is engulfing the ones before it. And it is generally a reversal candlestick. And if I were to look at this, what you see is you'll see a downtrend. However you draw this is broken. You can go all the way up here if you'd like. There's your downtrend that's broken. Now we could get a reversal, move back to that breakout, and we would still be a-okay. Here, I'll put that in there, guys. This is on a really short time frame. We could come all the way back to 67.75 and still be good to move higher. That'd be a retest move. So crude oil looks good. We'll see what kind of follow through we've got, but that's a good candlestick. TTF gas continuing higher, nice big bullish engulfing. The momentum still to the upside. Looks a-okay in my eyes. We've got natural gas in America up 5%, and we are starting to break through this resistance area. Well, we're not starting, we did break through it, and it looks good to continue higher. We've got a lot of stuff coming late 2025 for liquefied natural gas, and things look pretty solid here for natural gas. And this can move quickly. It can move quickly, and we do have some investments in natural gas that we've put on recently that I think will perform very, very well. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, up 2%, and we are still above the downtrend. We are working our way higher, and we are going to try to break out of this resistance. Does that look bearish to you? No, it looks really bullish. And if we can break through this, things are going to look pretty good. Things are going to look pretty good for the oil and gas sector. Natural gas is starting to break out, and oil put in a bullish engulfing today. I like it, is what I'll say. OIH also higher today, 1.18. This still looks bullish. We're up against resistance. We've pulled on back in this and not a ton of selling pressure here. So it still looks good to try to work its way on up. You could even say this is a double bottom there. Hit our head, little flag pattern, and we'll see if we can break. We've got Newcastle coal futures down a little bit, 0.28%. I'm still looking for a move higher. TTF gas and nat gas keeps moving up. That's going to put pressure for electricity power generation, and then coal can be a substitute when natural gas hits critical level pricing. I think this will eventually work its way on up. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, we're up about 0.5%. A little bit of selling pressure there yesterday, last trading day, and today that's why those wicks are at the top and why we lost some momentum. We are still within the pattern. We were kind of tapping on the pattern a little bit there, and there's a little bit of resistance. It is a gigantic flag pattern that will eventually break, in my opinion. We've got uranium that was up. I don't know if this is updated yet, but that looks real good to move higher. Big bullish engulfing. We've got URA up 5.25%. People are getting jiggy with it, popping it higher above that resistance area. Now it's support. URNM up 5.5%, looking good. We broke that downtrend line, stayed on support. Your buy point would have been down here if you were a pro on the support area. And now we've broken out of that to the upside. And then URNJ up 7.77%, breaking the downtrend line, looking good, looking good. You can get return moves here for retests, or a possibility for another entry point if you guys like it. Copper up 1.4% on support. There's that long-term support area that I drew in a while back, and we're getting some support behavior there. And non-higher looks good. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. COPX up 2.63%. That's also looking good. And following copper, just like we thought. Iron ore down a little bit, right on support. Still looks good on the longer term perspective. Bigger buying pressure, small selling pressure. It still looks good to go higher, in my opinion. Aluminum just cannot break out of this stinking resistance. It's right on top of it. We're trying, guys. We're trying to break down this resistance. Maybe we're playing against the big boys here. Because when this thing breaks, you're probably going to get a big move in aluminum. Nickel flat. Not much progress there. And we're still down, potentially doing another double bottom. We've got Mu up 0.53 right on support. There's that support that we're getting. It's almost like we just know where these support levels are. It's really weird, huh? And that's the big long-term support. Now, we need to watch this and see what kind of follow-through we get here, because we did fall like a rock here, right there. Big move lower, and this could be a flag pattern where we could eventually head lower. But I wouldn't be worried about the short-term movements. I think longer term, everything looks good. Emerging markets up 1.14. Remember the weaker dollar, weaker yields. It's going to go counter to the dollar. KRE down just a teeny bit, but this is still in a bullish formation to go higher. Or a flag, however you want to draw it, doesn't really matter. You have small red candlesticks, the big boy jump. Think of that as the flagpole and then a big flag that's being created. Tan up a little bit, weaker dollar, weaker yields. Lithium up about 1%, look right at support. And I'm looking for a potential break here. We've got, big buying pressure move there, and then kind of a squeeze going on right there at resistance. We got that going on. That looks good. REMX up a little bit. That is at support going horizontally here. And we'll see if we can work our way up. That could be a bullish piercing pattern where it gaps down in the morning and closes above the 50th percentile of the candlestick before, which is a reversal candlestick to move higher. Baltic Dry Index up 5.5%. Absolutely love it. Here we are coming back to that resistance support area that's been in place since 1988. 1988. XHB, the home builders, we did have weaker yield, weaker dollar moving sideways here. We're not getting a ton of selling pressure. We're not getting a ton of buying pressure. We're kind of in an area that it looks like confusion. The market doesn't know which way to go. And I think that deals with yields. Russell 2000 moving sideways. We have downside momentum coming into support. The support is at 2260 or 2270. S&P 500 up a little bit. Momentum is still down. We'll see if we can turn here. We are up against some support area there. NASDAQ up a teeny bit. We are getting a little bit of support through here. And we'll see if it holds. Momentum is still down though. SMCI up 16%, but I still wouldn't touch it even with your money. And NVIDIA down a little bit within the pattern. We'll see if this thing holds or if we decide to break down. There is an earnings call coming up Wednesday, and that's when things are going to get a little bit jiggy with is what I'll say. Bitcoin up 3%. That still has momentum upward. Smaller selling pressure. We just got a bullish engulfing. Still looks good to go higher. Ethereum up 3%. That looks like it wants to go higher. We had a smaller down candlestick coming in, and then we got a nice big bullish engulfing here. That looks good. Work its way on up. And then the VIX is still holding low on top of this breakout. We broke out, and then we're just holding on top of it for the VIX. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you're interested. That Black Friday, one word, Black Friday. Look at the description link below for that coupon code and what the deals are. And that's all I've got for today. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.